Hey, good morning, everybody, on this Tuesday. Chris Allen here on this July 9th with your Sam Channel weather, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Well, we're watching with interest the remnants of Beryl, which at one time was a very strong Category 5 hurricane. It has really weakened over the last 24 hours. It made landfall in Texas yesterday, and now the remnants of that storm are coming our way and going to meet up with an upper wave cold front system that is they're going to absorb each other, and that's going to bring us some rain. You're already seeing some rain back here on the radar, but I'll show you up close radar here in just a second. Let's check the Plano cam this morning here at 7:15 local time. Scattered clouds, a little bit of blue sky, morning sun, but there are showers, as you saw on radar, just back to the west. So whatever blue sky we're seeing right now may not stick around much longer. Most of the rain that we're seeing back to the west is headed north, but it eventually is going to come to our area and bring us a pretty good chance of rain and thunderstorms. Here's the view from downtown from the AAA Systems Reservoir Hill camera, and you can see the overcast skies and a bit of haze. The air is thick again this morning. It does not feel good when you step outside. It feels very muggy, very, very muggy, and it's going to continue to be that way as dew points are up in the 70s because of the high moisture content that is out there. Here is the view from the newest AAA Systems camera from Wingate Hotel, I-65 and Scottsville Road, looking a bit northwest, seeing those same clouds, and no shower activity just yet, but it's coming. It's on the way. And there is a possibility that we could be looking at some stronger storms and a threat of severe weather come later on this afternoon, which I'll highlight in just a second. But first, let's go to radar, and I'll show you what's going on at the moment right now as far as that's concerned. And you can see that we've got a lot of rain over Missouri, southern Illinois, parts of Indiana, and now moving in to parts of western and northwestern Kentucky. Hartford, Beaver Dam getting a really good thunderstorm right now. Not severe, but some very heavy rain. There you see the lightning flashes. Madisonville getting some good rain. Also back toward Paducah, the land between the lakes down to Murray. But look at this. This is a large shield of rain. This is really the upper wave, the upper trough that's coming in. And not until you get right here into parts of Arkansas, Mississippi, West Tennessee, do we see the remnants of what was Beryl. Now, it doesn't look like much right now, but the low is spinning about Conway, Arkansas, Little Rock area. And eventually, once we get a little more sunshine, this is all going to enhance. And as the remnants of Beryl meet up with this upper wave, then it's going to enhance the moisture over our area. And I do think we're going to get some thunderstorms, some briefly heavy rain. And there's even a risk that we could see a brief spin-up tornado. It's a possibility because of the way the atmosphere is all set up right now. There's a spin in the atmosphere, and just a really lot of moisture, a lot of wind that's going to be in this system once it comes closer to Kentucky. So we're seeing a few breaks in the clouds right now, as you saw in the cameras, but eventually we're going to get mostly cloudy. Now, if we can keep the clouds in here for much of the day, then there will be less of a threat of severe weather. But that's a big if. And some of the models and everything that I'm looking at this morning are going, this could be one of those situations where you could, because of the spin of Beryl and the leftovers or the remnants of the system, and the way everything is set up at different elevations, then there could be enough spin to spin up a brief tornado, especially if we get enough sun heating that already very unstable atmosphere and very moisture laden atmosphere. That could pop something this afternoon and this evening. Nothing this morning. It's going to be more into the afternoon and evening hours if something happens. Okay. Well, let's check mesonet temperatures, and it is warm and it is muggly. Yeah, muggly. I call it muggly because it's muggy and ugly. Muggly. I just made that up. It's muggly. Mid 70s. Now, where you're getting rain back here in western Kentucky, it's lower 70s, but mid 70s. Right here over south central Kentucky, you put in the dew points. Ugh, horrible. Look at all these mid 70 dew points. That means we are at anywhere from 98 to 100% relative humidity. Whew, that's just nasty. Nasty. Let's check past 24-hour rainfall. We did pick up a little bit yesterday with those afternoon thunderstorms. 0.18 of an inch of rain at the Corvette plant, only 0.06 at the Ag Expo Center, almost a quarter inch west of Glasgow. But then you start to look back here, and this is rain from yesterday plus rain this morning. And look, Marshall County, Benton, Kentucky, with humidity at 100%, they have picked up almost 2.7 inches of rain. Then 2.11 in Murray, Kentucky, Callaway County, where the humidity is 95%. So you could see that western Kentucky has been hammered with heavy rain, and there's more to come. We haven't gotten the worst of it yet, but it's coming. The winds coming out of the northeast right now at about 5 to 10, with an occasional breeze where we're starting to see some of that rain back in western Kentucky of up to 15 miles per hour. But I can tell you this afternoon, with any thunderstorms or heavy rain that comes in, the winds are going to pick up. And especially tomorrow, as the remnant low, or what was Beryl, moves away, we're going to pick up some winds tomorrow, Wednesday, maybe 30 to 40 miles per hour, some gusts that is going to come in, and it's going to be just a blustery afternoon and evening and tomorrow as well. Even though the rain chances go down tomorrow, it's still going to be kind of yuck. All right, here we go with the model blender. We've got maybe 90 to 92 today. And again, that depends on the amount of sun that we get. So I'm going closer to 90, thinking we're going to keep enough clouds in here to not go any higher than 90, but we could. We did yesterday. We hit 93, and I was calling for 90, 91. So it went a couple of degrees warmer yesterday. The average is 90. And we picked up almost a quarter inch of rain at the airport yesterday. And there you see a much cooler 85 for Wednesday, with mainly morning showers and then partial clearing and windy. I'm actually going 82, 83 for tomorrow. And by tomorrow afternoon, it'll start to feel pretty nice. And we get the lower humidity levels coming in. Same goes for Thursday. I'm going sunny and 87. They're showing 89 here. But after that, the heat is on. Yeah, the heat is on, as Glenn Fry once sang. Look at all those mid 90s, even upper 90s, pretty much all of next week. So, yeah, that's coming. And I don't see a whole lot of rain chances in any of that 10-day stretch. Yuck. Yuck. It's going to be muggly. It's going to be muggly. Yeah, I've coined a new word. Oh, boy. I'll hear the end of it now. All right. Here's a look at the maps. And you can see what we've got going on. Here's the remnant barrel. Now just a tropical depression, low pressure system, tropical low, warm front snaking through the area. And that's going to provide some lift as that warm front crosses into southern Kentucky, which is about to do now. It's going to lift that available moisture, and there's a lot of it, but it could also help trigger stronger storms this afternoon and this evening as this thing gets really organized, as you can see. And that low pressure system will be moving through northeastern Arkansas, the boot heel of Missouri, the southern tip of Illinois, and then move right across the Ohio River. Now, the heaviest of the rains are going to be in Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, western Kentucky. But for us, we'll be on the other side, the right side, or the east side of that low pressure system. And so our rain totals will not be as high as back to the northwest because the low pressure spins counterclockwise or like a clock going backwards. And so the better dynamics and the better threat for severe weather and flooding rains is going to be right along the Ohio River and the Wabash River and the Mississippi River. For us, we'll get a glancing blow, and there's the severe weather threat this evening into parts of Illinois. And it does take in part of Kentucky, even though it's not painted in red here. You'll see with the SPC outlook in just a moment. The system moves out. Wednesday morning, we start to see showers tapering down, but then because of the pressure gradient around that remnant low and high pressure to the west, the winds are going to pick up. You see some tight lines here around that low, tight isobars or equal lines of pressure. And that means we could have those wind gusts tomorrow, 30 to 40 miles per hour. It's at this point still called a tropical cyclone or tropical low. This is Wednesday morning into Wednesday evening. High pressure begins to build in. Very nice weather for Thursday into Friday. Then into Saturday, we see a couple of systems approaching. We get into Sunday. There could be a few isolated showers to our north and northwest. And then maybe Monday we're back to plain old good weather. But it's going to be hot and it's going to be muggy. I can guarantee that. All right, let me show you the severe weather risk for this afternoon and this evening. Okay, so here we go, step by step. Now I'm showing you all the product here, every bit of what the Storm Prediction Center or the SPC has put out for today. And this is the overall outlook. And you can see just north of Bowling Green, and, you know, of course, weather doesn't follow straight lines, but if you were to draw kind of a straight line, this would be mainly west of Bowling Green, northwest of Bowling Green, along the Western Kentucky Parkway, I-69, I-165, going up to Owensboro, all of Western Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Illinois. That's where the level 2 slight risk is going to be for this afternoon and this evening. Level 1 surrounding it from Bowling Green, southeast and east. Okay. But let me detail this even further. Let's go to, let me change this. Okay, this is the tornado outlook. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, there we go. The tornado outlook. Now, you can see that east of 65, there is a 2 to 4 chance, 2 to 4% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any point. So wherever point you live, there's a 2 to 4% chance of it happening. Where you see this kind of brown color in that level 2 risk area is a 5 to 9% chance of a tornado this afternoon. And in these kind of situations, the setup that we have today, this is going to be one of those situations where there might not be a lot of tornadoes, but they're going to be, how should I put this? They could easily form just because, as I mentioned earlier, of the spin that is in the atmosphere from the remnants of Beryl. Remember, Beryl was a Category 5 hurricane, and it's been out in the waters for so long, and it's just spinning and spinning and spinning some heavy rain and tornadoes. There were something like 95 tornado warnings in Texas yesterday. That's a record. So this system has a lot of spin, even though it's not your classic tornado setup. But if I will tell you that if any tornadoes do form in our area this afternoon or this evening, they would be brief and they would be very on the weaker side, like EF0, EF1, maybe a gust of 90 miles per hour, enough to do some damage. But nothing major, not an outbreak. Okay. But this atmosphere is so volatile that this could happen that you're looking at right here in that graphic. This could actually happen. And especially if we get some sunshine, between some of the rain this morning and, whatever comes around this afternoon. Severe wind, damaging wind threat, everybody is in the 5 to 14% category. Everybody, pretty much, except for far eastern Kentucky. So even if you don't get a tornado, there could be damaging wind. Severe hail, there might be a little bit, but this is not a hail producer. So that's the brunt of it. And that's what we're looking at right now for severe weather threat. So don't be surprised if later this afternoon you start hearing about a severe thunderstorm watch. I would say probably it's going to be a tornado watch for some portion of our area. And you may think, well, is there anything going on? Are we expecting tornadoes? It's a possibility, but it's going to be on the brief, lower end of things. That doesn't mean you need to take any less precaution, because even the small, brief tornadoes can do some damage. And here's the thing about these. If any tornadoes get going this afternoon, they may not be with warnings. Use this as your warning for later. In other words, have your weather radio turned on. Make sure you've got your News40 Weather App on your phone, which you can download right there using the QR code, and download it. That way you'll know the warnings, you'll know lightning detection, you'll know any bulletins that come out instantly. Same as if you listen to SAM 100.7 or watch News 40. CBS or NBC, you'll get the instant warnings. But any tornado warnings would be brief, quick, and not very powerful, but they could do some damage. Bring down a tree or bring down a tree on a power line or something like that. I mean, let's hope not. Fingers crossed that we keep it mainly cloudy through the afternoon and evening. That would cut down on instability, and then maybe not so bad. But this is going to be one of those times when it's going to be very difficult we need to put out a warning, because by the time that little spin up occurs, it's gone within a matter of minutes. And then the weather service puts out the warning, and then it's like, well, now it's too late. It's already gone. These could be those little blips that show up on the radar for one frame, and then they go away. It's going to be very, very tricky. So just be on the ready this afternoon and evening should that happen. And of course, we'll be following it all day. All right. In the meantime, God bless you. Thank you for watching as always, and have yourselves a great Tuesday.